You're going to possibly be the #1 pick in this year's draft. So what has your workout regimen and schedule been like?
Pretty much I was in Detroit with JJ, just pretty much getting at it. Waking up at 8, doing shooting form. After that, go to the weightlifting gym.
Here we go, 10 seconds, squat it down. 9, 8, 7, 6, good. Come on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Relax.
Getting the whole body right. Go back to the gym.
There we go. There you go. Hey.
Go home, watch a movie, rest up, and restart the day.
So you guys are a basketball family. Tell me about what age and some of the drills you did and when you knew that basketball meant everything to you.
Well, really, when I was like 3, that's when it was.
There you go. Oh.
Playing on like a 10-foot hoop. And then, what did you say after that? You said drills and stuff. Yeah, we really didn't do drills.
You said 3 years old?
Yeah, 3.
On a 10-foot hoop?
Yeah, facts. Facts.
Here comes Ball! Ball! Just down! They need a 3-ball. LaMelo! Ah!
What was it like playing against professionals overseas versus going to college and playing with kids your age?
And playing over there, it's like a whole new style of play that you really could add to your arsenal. I feel I learned a lot and grew from there.
One of the things that I've heard throughout this draft process is when people see you, it's like, whoa, he's taller, he's bigger than we thought.
Yeah, right.
He can shoot it better than we thought.
Freshman year, I was like 5'8".
What?
Yeah, I was like 5'8". And then when I went to overseas, I got to like 6'3", 6'4", and now 6'7".
And I think once you hit that growth spurt and your body continued to get stronger, I noticed you start playing through contact.
Yeah, your whole body changed, you know. First, when you get tall, it be kind of different to move and stuff. But once you get used to it, you good.
Now the NBA draft is here. What is it like for that summary to finally happen?
I'm actually really excited. It's going to be my first time in a long time playing back in the States.
What about your draft day drip? Now, don't show up with a red and white pinstripe suit.
I'm not.
Jalen Rose, I think, wins the Styling Award with that red pinstripe.
Actually, Lonzo draft, I had all red on. But this one, I'm going to have all black and then a little gold in it. It's going to be tough, though.
You can see where LaMelo Ball will be picked in the 74th NBA Draft tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern, right here on ESPN, ESPN Radio, and the ESPN app.
It's a pleasure to have Stephen A. join us this morning before he hits the first take set in 44 minutes, not too far from where the three of us are sitting. Good morning, Stephen A.
What up, S.A.? What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good. Excellent. Thank you, Stephen A. Woj reported this morning on SportsCenter the possibility of James Harden making his way to the Brooklyn Nets, which obviously would reunite him with Kevin Durant. You throw Kyrie Irving into the mix. What do you make of that even being a possibility?
Well, I think it's a possibility. How big of a possibility it is remains to be seen. Because if you're the Brooklyn Nets, obviously with James Harden making over $38 million, you've got to sit you and being owed about $132.9 million over the next 3 years. You've got to move some parts. Karis LeVert would have to be gone. Spencer Dinwiddie would have to be gone. Probably multiple picks will come along with it. And if you're the Brooklyn Nets, you have to ask yourself this question. Without James Harden, where are we right now? I think they could easily be deemed the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference right now without James Harden. With James Harden, they'd obviously, I think that you could have a debate between them and the Lakers as to be the favorites to win it all. But really, if you're the Brooklyn Nets, I still think that you're looking at a trip to the NBA Finals with the roster that you currently have if KD and Kyrie gives you what they're supposed to give you. And so you've got to make a decision if you're Brooklyn, because in the case of Tillman Fertitta in Houston, you're looking at a guy in James Harden that's averaged at least 29 over the last 4 years, over 32 over the last 3 years, over 30 actually, over the last 3 years. He's one of the prolific scorers this game has ever seen. He's just a magician on the offensive side of the ball. And, you know, he's been in the league for 11 years, about 32 years of age. Even though that's the case, you still can ask for the farm for him. So you're not going to accept peanuts for him And somebody's got to be willing to put together a deal that will enable you to get strong compensation for his services. Not as much may be required to get Russell Westbrook, who is a star, but nevertheless, he's not James Harden. And either way you slice it, Houston definitely is in the throes of a remake or retool right now.
S.A., let me ask you this. You follow a lot of basketball. We talk intricacy basketball all day, every day. That's all you and I do. How many players in your time have you seen bounce back to a superstar level after they've torn their Achilles?
Well, really nobody, to be quite honest.
That's my question for you. Doesn't it make sense if you're Sean Marks to go in as hard as possible on a guy like James Harden, knowing that you hope KD can be great, but you still don't know how he's going to come off that?
It does make sense, no question. That's a strong point on your part, obviously, but I will tell you this. I'm not concerned about KD at all. I think KD is on average a minimum of 25 a game. When you're 6'11", you got a 7'6" wingspan with ball handling skills, and you're a sniper, a long-range sniper, then I'm not concerned about you. Now, if you were Russell Westbrook, if you were a Derrick Rose, if you were somebody whose success was strongly predicated on your athleticism, that would be a different ball game. But think about this. Even devoid of the athleticism we're accustomed to seeing from him, at 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan and the ability to pull up from 30, he's still going to be able to get his shot off on most occasions. And as a result, because he is KD, I believe he can average 25 a game in his sleep. But there's no denying that your argument is profound from the standpoint that because he's coming off of an Achilles, even though it's been a year and a half now, it's one of those situations where you look at him and you say, okay, if you're Sean Marks, you want to go all in to deliver a championship to Brooklyn, New York. That would be tremendous. So I don't disagree with you there.
Stephen A. Smith, the king of First Take, joining us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Stephen A., you there, my man?
I'm right here, bro.
Okay, it got real silent, so I wasn't for sure.
No, I was just wanting to chime in. I didn't want to interrupt you. Actually, I wanted to get on your show because I don't understand that when y'all are playing sounds involving the sport of basketball, why Max Kellerman's voice would even be in there. But that's a different subject. Go ahead.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, from here on out, it won't be on anymore.
Thank you.
No, I got you. I got it taken care of.
Right.
Now that we've moved Harden on and we've gotten rid of him to Brooklyn, what are we going to do with Westbrook? Where is he going?
Well, that remains to be seen. That's a hard sell, man, because you got a lot of teams that should want him. He definitely would be box office, but I don't know if he's the ingredient to a championship because of his inability to shoot the ball from three-point range. When you're going against Damian Lillard, when you're going against Steph Curry, you're just not going to beat those guys. If you can't put the ball in the hole from long range, it's not going to cut it come playoff time. We know that Russell Westbrook can average 25 to 30 a game. We know he's unstoppable one-on-one. He can get to the rim at his discretion. He's obviously the most volatile competitor you can find in the NBA. He gives you 100% all the time, and ain't nothing but respect for him in that regard. But shooting the three is an Achilles heel from him. And come playoff time when teams are getting back, you guys know this, especially you, Jay, you're going to get back on defense. You're not going to be able to play in the open court to the degree that you can do in the regular season. And if that's the case, that turns you into a half-court player. And as a result of being a half-court player, if you are not a threat from three-point range, you are an Achilles heel to your team. But by the way, I'm glad you brought up Russell Westbrook because he and I spoke the other day, and I just want to tell you, he emphasized his relationship with James Harden. He went on Twitter and expressed this as well. His relationship with James Harden is tight. They don't have a problem in terms of their brotherhood, their relationship. But that's all he said. But from everything that I heard outside of that, like I told him, I never said you had a bad relationship with James Harden. I said you guys don't necessarily want to play together. No, and I left it at that.
No, I get it. Let's stay out west of my Lakers, man. I think we might get Dennis Schroeder, right? Is that what we're hearing?
Yes.
It should be confirmed today, yes.
So what's that going to do for us?
Well, first of all, I think that he definitely gives you more on the offensive side of the ball that Rondo could ever give you. He just finished averaging 18.9 points a game, if I remember correctly, this past season. He can put the ball in the hole. He's a better shooter from three-point range, a better long-range shooter. He doesn't run the point position the way Rondo does. He does not play defense as well as Rondo. Those two things obviously could be a hindrance, but you do have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. In the end, I think it's important to have somebody who's a bona fide shooter from that position because that opens the floor up for their offense. KCP, assuming he's retained, because we're expecting him to opt out and look for a longer-term deal. Danny Green is now gone. We know he struggled his 1 year in L.A. You need perimeter shooting. We got to see what's going to happen if Avery Bradley is going to elect to stay on board as well, because those are all question marks that you got to pay attention to. But in the end, you are getting more of an offensive threat from Dennis Schrader. And on the defensive side of the ball, even though there's a drop-off, it's not that significant to the point where you don't do this deal. I like this deal for the Los Angeles Lakers. I think it makes them better, and we'll see what happens. But we also have to see where it makes them end up. Like Rondo might end up going to the Clippers because Kawhi Leonard desperately wants a point guard that sees the floor. Everybody knows Patrick Beverly can play defense, and he's an energizer bunny. But in terms of actually being an extension, an umbilical cord to the coach, running that offense, you need somebody like Rondo in there. We'll see if the Clippers get their hands on somebody like him or CP3. If they do that, things could change for the Clippers as well. But right now, I would say it's a good move for the Lakers, and it leaves them as the favorite.
That'll be interesting because Patrick Beverly and Rondo, they got a little history there. That'll be fun.
It'll be for sure. Tongue planted firmly in cheek here, Stephen A. We can take Max out of our radio show, but you're going to have to deal with him in 37 minutes on TV. So just warning you there.
No, actually, you're wrong, Zubin.
Because you're in L.A.
He has to deal with me. He has to deal with me.
It's the other way around.
Remember that.
Enjoy that good weather out there in L.A., I say.
No, I'm back.
Oh, you're back now. You're back now. Okay.
We give him a